Hi, everyone.
Pictures of my grandkids and I say, wow, I look great. And I'm going to keep using this product because I look great. Let's talk about all the exciting use.
Cool. So, Dr. Cezar, you can go ahead and unmute yourself. I muted everyone.
Okay.
Nice. Cool. So you saw how Dr. Bowen's breakout room worked, or?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
Well,
So, okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Dr. Cezar Martinez. If you have any questions for me, feel free to ask them. Where did Tiara, did she leave? I don't think I lost her.
I'm still here. I just need to get my computer.
I'm like, I don't see her anymore.
You know,
but I could see if there's any questions.
Yeah, we can start in the chat, or you know, if people would like to speak their question, that's also fine. It looks like there is one in the chat.
Yes.
Can you see it?
Yeah, I see it.
Okay.
So,
cool.
Hi, Mark. So, yeah, so his question is, how can veterinary schools don't often expose students to veterinary careers outside of clinical practice? What can veterinary schools do better to make sure students are exposed to unconventional fields? So yes, that's definitely something that needs to be have done more in vet school. I think we had got a little exposure when I was in vet school of public practice or working for the government, but the people that would come in for that was like, I don't know, they were just like kind of boring. They didn't make it really sound exciting to work for the government and like deal with outbreaks and working for the CDC and stuff. So a lot of people were just like, oh, that's lame. Fortunately, I got to begin working for the government when I was a student. So I got to see like rabies outbreaks and dealing with, different diseases, surveillance and so forth. And I thought that was super exciting. So I think what's necessary in veterinary schools is to make sure that students are aware of all the different opportunities out there and have like people come in and speak about their careers and how they've transformed to do different things. Because it's not general veterinary students that graduate, they have told us that you need to go to practice at least for a couple years before you do anything else. And I really don't think that is the case. Like I was always pushed that a lot. I was told I needed to hone in my clinical skills before I actually worked permanently in the government. And I didn't really think that was necessary. I mean, yeah, I went and did an internship in Dubai. I went to do another fellowship in Lexington, Kentucky, got to play with horses for a couple years. That was awesome. But then it started kind of being too much of the same. Like there's a colic, there's this and there. I'm like, this just kind of felt like factory to me. So I was like, I don't like practice. And so that's why I went back to the government. And then I get a lot of students that come in for internships in the government, and they are still being told they need to do clinical practice right after. And I told them, no, it's not necessary. If you feel like you want to work for the government, you want to do research, you want to work in the lab, anything differently, it's okay to start that out of vet school, especially if you have started already getting that experience and shadowing people and getting to know folks that are doing different things. And I think that's what's important for vet students. Like, don't depend on your vet school to give you that opportunity, because they may not. They may not expose you to other types of things that you can do as veterinarians. So I think it's like when you hear an opportunity or hear someone in a different type of career than regular practice, talk to them, get to know them, see what they do, and see if you can shadow them and, go to their office and learn about what they're doing. So, yeah. Mark, are you in vet school now? Oh, I know you're muted. That's right. I think Tiara muted you.
Hi.
Oh,
I'm one prerequisite away.
oh, very
Yeah.
good. Very
My
good.
state
Awesome.
school did not find my OChem from UC Davis sufficient enough. So I have to take OChem all over again.
Oh,
That was that
okay.
top one thing.
Well, that's good. So, okay, I got a couple other questions. So let's see here. First one is, can you go over your experience working as a federal vet? What you like, what you didn't like, what you learned. So, federal vet. So I started out working as a federal veterinarian in the field. Um, I started working in Michigan, and I got to work with chronic wasting disease, which is like a kind of like mad cow but mad deer. Um, so so I basically were going to deer farms. There was like 600, probably 700 now or so deer farms in Michigan. So I would go around to all these deer farms, then people that had dead deer, and cut off the head and then take samples to test them in the lab. So that was that was okay. It was interesting, but I didn't like really going to people's deer farms so much because they were hunters too, and so and um, and it was interesting because I was a woman and a woman of color, and I go to these many deer farms that was majority owned by white men. Um, they, would always ask me these crazy questions and stuff about like, oh, wow, must be interesting. It must be different for you because you're probably from Detroit, right? And I'm like, no, I'm not from Detroit. So that kind of got annoying a little bit, but also too, it's just that kind of got boring to me as well. But it was a great opportunity to learn how to, deal with chronic wasting disease surveillance. And then and working in the field and stuff, I got to work at the ports as well. So the animals coming into the country, especially from Canada, I got to work, see a lot of pigs come in from Canada, that would be going to the slaughter plant. So that was okay. I think I got a little too close, not close to the pigs, but I was feeling um, like sad for the pigs sometimes because I felt like they were so small, and I'm like, oh, I'm so sad you're going to the slaughter plant. So that was a little weird for me. However, fortunately, after I did that and worked in the field, I did get to move from Michigan to the DC area. And so I moved up the chain in USDA, and I started working in horse protection, which was basically enforcing the Horse Protection Act. I don't guys know there's in Tennessee or in the southern states, people that own Tennessee walking horses, or some people that own Tennessee walking horses, not everyone, they will soar them, basically put chains on their front two legs or something really heavy to make their feet go up higher. So there's a law to not have that done because it's pretty brutal for horses to have that done. So I was enforcing that. I did that for 8 years, and it was really high profile, very political program. It was, even though people were like, tell me that like, wow, this is the worst job ever in USDA. I didn't feel that way. I thought it was great. And they would say it's the worst job because it was high security. A lot of people were mean to me, would tell me, go back to your country, like tweet about that stuff because I was trying to protect horses. And so people didn't like that I was doing that because they didn't feel that they were hurting their horses. So I got a lot of different things like that. And a lot of people, because it didn't bother me, I started getting kind of the name of like the duck because I let stuff roll off my back. So that it was like, I'm like, it's not going to phase me. I don't care. They're not going to bother me. But I did enjoy being in that position because it was really exciting and challenging. So that was for 8 years. And then I took on director for live animal imports. So I'm enforcing that and making sure all the animals coming into the country are not going to bring in diseases. And that's really exciting, really interesting. I wish I could show you guys this picture. But one of my employees sent me this picture of this different kind of vulture. I don't know if you can see it. Can you see it?
Yeah, we can see it. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so, but look, you see his face. That's like, I was like, what is that? I mean,
Yeah,
he
his
was,
eyes are like, yeah.
yeah, he was like, it's a vulture. And he's like, they just brought it in and it's at the quarantine facility. But that's the thing. It's like, it's all these random weird animals that people be bringing into the country. But we got to make sure that they don't have no diseases and that they're not going to bring something like bird flu or something like that. So, but everyone, people just always want something different. And that's a big thing right now with China and the COVID and so forth. A lot of people are wanting to bring in dogs from there, like a lot of dogs. That's kind of a big concern that we have right now because we want to make sure they're not going to be bringing any diseases in here.
Gotcha. There's a couple other questions in here.
Keep moving. Yeah. Hi, I'm a second-year student, almost finished at Ross. Awesome. Love Ross. Then Illinois for clinics, but fell short due to some issues with a few clinical rotations. My options are non-accredited international vet schools, where they have to do the ECVG 3-day foreign fluency exam. Any thoughts on those schools and that test and overall on the path towards a DVM? My options are now non-accredited international vet schools, where they have to do that. So I know that there's people that's gone that route. And I think, I don't know which schools those are specifically, but I think still like what's important for you, for this person is, oh, hey, is to make sure that you really first find out a little bit more about those schools and ensure that you're going to be comfortable being there. Because I think that's what's really important for anyone going to do their clinical rounds or rotations at a vet school. So, and I think that's what's really important, like with even in schools in the U.S., making sure that you're going to be comfortable going to that school and looking at also what's the ratio of different people that are there. If it's let me see, what school is not very diverse? I'm trying to think of one. Maybe I don't know, but there's a fair amount of them that aren't. But there's some that are, and so I think the thing is making sure that that you're going to be comfortable. I don't think there's that much of a concern about that exam. At least I haven't heard any. But Tiara, have you?
No, I haven't. Unfortunately, I don't know anyone that has had that experience with a non-accredited school. I've only known people to go international, like Edinburgh, and they're accredited, so I don't think there's much that they have to do.
Yeah, I would say also, is it Alex? I think if you're at Ross and Miss Dr. Satoli, do you talk to him a lot? Dr. Fortune Satoli?
Yeah, I know him.
Okay, so definitely talk to him. He's like a brother to me. So I know he will help you out and make sure that you are going to be going the route correctly. Because I think he graduated. I think he went to school in Canada.
Yeah,
right?
I think so.
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure he knows what would be the best thing. And he's the one that's doing that stuff too, I believe, helping with those rotations.
Yeah, he's I think he's the head of clinical placement now.
Yep.
So cool.
Okay.
Alex, I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, no, that was good. That was good. Thanks.
Awesome.
Thanks.
So Melissa asked, do you know of or have any opportunities for an MPH level professional to shadow or intern part-time with veterinarians in the government, research or otherwise? She is hoping to apply to vet school in the coming years and wants to learn more about that area of vet med?
Yes. So yes, there is many opportunities in the USDA to shadow or intern. Depends on where you're at, where you live, Melissa. Yeah, like we could, if my contact information is available, you can definitely email me and ask about that specific, place, because there's different USDA locations all around the country. And with COVID right now, we're slowly opening up all of our different facilities and areas. And hopefully that would help then able to get interns more out, because, and that's the unfortunate thing this year with this summer. We have so many interns that, are going to our labs, because we have the National Veterinary Services Laboratory in Ames, Iowa. And then we're starting to have it used to be called Plum Island in New York, but that's going to be moving to Kansas. So we're going to be having, we'll have students there too. But once we start opening up, then we will have those opportunities for students to shadow us. And if you're in the Maryland area, I'm always having students come and shadow me. Oh, you are? Oh, Melissa, are you in Maryland?
Yeah, I'm in Laurel.
Oh, okay. You're going to come to my office, and then so like you're down the road. Okay, we're gonna be all right. Okay, so yeah, we'll talk. So,
Cool. So Kennedy asks, are there summer experiences you recommend that students take if interested in becoming a federal veterinarian?
yes. So, and I mean, Tiara can give you some advice as well, because she was a student intern.
I was there forever, for like ever.
But I was always trying to help Tiara get better opportunities all the time, because I had her go to California where we had Newcastle disease, which is a chicken disease, and had her deployed there to go work. So I was really like trying to help her out, because her boss was like, no, she don't need to go. I'm like, yes, she does. And I'm like, it's part of her MPH program. And so we were just like,
I did end up doing my capstone on virulent Newcastle disease in backyard chickens. So
oh, well, good.
Worked
See?
out. We brought that idea to fruition. For sure.
Yes. So, but yeah, there is, so the best thing to do if you are interested in doing like an internship with USDA, there's this program. It's called Pathways, the Pathways program, and USA Jobs. And so basically, on the usajobs.gov website, what's really important is that you put up and get an email alert for any opportunities that says student. And that's when the pathway programs will show up. And sometimes you'll see, it won't specifically say veterinary or animal, it might say program assistant, but you actually may be working in the veterinary office or in a port office or somewhere where there are animals. But it's good just to apply for those. And then when you're in those positions, when you get those positions for the summer, make sure you tell them what your interest is. You want to be a veterinarian. Then you'll get geared towards other veterinarians that are in the USDA, like such as like right now we have a couple scholarship programs, like it's called the Salty Wilson Scholarship Program and then Daniel Salmon Scholarship Program. However, those programs are going to be on the USA Jobs website if you want to apply. And generally they come out around March sometimes, because they want the students to apply and then prepare to come for the summer. And then what helps as well with those internship programs, you get a percentage as well that goes to your tuition to help pay that off, as well as opportunities to have a job afterward once you graduate from either vet school. And I think the Daniel Samlin's is if you graduate with a bachelor's and so forth. So, but yeah, there's definitely many opportunities to work as or to get experience as a vet student. We actually have a vet student now that's working with us from Virginia, Maryland. And she would generally come into the Riverdale office with us. If we were there now, we're not. So she's teleworking for us. So she's really helping, like doing a lot of different work with us on that. But last year when she was with us, she went with me to Lexington, Kentucky, to go have to do a training with horses. And sure, she went somewhere else too. But generally, I would have students go different places. Like right now, we do have a student that's at the Miami port, and she's working with the veterinarians that are taking in horses from the Miami airport, as well as we get a lot of birds from the quarantine facility to the quarantine facilities as well, just like I showed you those vultures. But there's a fair amount of birds that come in too. So, was there anything, other questions?
Yeah, so we have like 5 minutes. I don't know if anyone had, a last burning question to ask Dr. Cezar Martinez. Okay, here's one. I'm a board certified veterinarian in a career transition due to having to retire from clinical practice because of health issues. Do you have any recommendations on becoming a federal veterinarian? I haven't been applying since last year and have found it hard to get my foot in the door. Ooh, I would also love to know what you're board certified in if you don't mind sharing, but I know that's not the question, so.
Yeah. Hi, I'm a board certified veterinary ophthalmologist.
Oh, cool. Awesome.
Ophthalmologist. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I had to stop practice because of allergies and asthma to animals. So I can't have a job that has direct animal contact or be in an animal environment.
Yeah. And that's the thing that a lot of people end up finding out, even like while you're in vet school. And like I have a friend, she's just always sneezing and coughing and everything around cats, but that's not going to stop her. She's still she loves her cats, but but yeah, there's so much that you can handle that for so long. And
I did. I'm a 91 graduate of Tuskegee University, so I handled it for a long time. And then I developed asthma 5 months into my 3-year residency working on horses. So as I aged, my asthma worsened. So it got to the point where my health was more important. So,
yeah.
But it's hard. Any advice on trying to break into the federal government? Because, I mean, first of all, I heard it was so slow in getting and them responding to you, and it really is. But any advice?
Well, I think it's going to vary on the positions that you're applying for and also the grade. So you may end up feeling like you're like, wow, I should be making more money than this. Like, so.
Well, I know I'm going to take a pay cut versus clinical practice. I already have wrapped my head around that. I already know.
Okay, well, that's good.
But the benefits are good.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to come in because I'm board certified. I can come in as a GS-13. And, but, I guess it's harder to get the higher grades. If I come in lower, say like a 11, and then I want to apply for a 13 or 14 position, can I do that? Or do you have to go stepwise?
So if you were at 11, if it's at 11, 12, then you can, if you're 12, you become a 12, then you can immediately apply for a 13. But at 13,
but can I skip?
No.
Can I go from like an 11 to a 13 or 14?
Only if
I'm qualified.
If you apply as a public person.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's the general public, not as a federal employee. They're going to take that stepwise.
Oh, wow. You have to go stepwise. Okay.
Yeah. So, but I mean, the thing is that I know right now there's a position that just opened up. It's a 12-13 in Riverdale. I don't know where you want to go.
I'm in California, but I'm open to relocating. I already have my mind set. I'm going to be relocating to the East Coast.
Oh, okay. So yeah, no, there is one right now. It's 12-13 and it's working in Riverdale. It's actually working with animal products that are coming into the country. So as you guys know, like there's a lot of different, animal products like meat and other types of things. But
is that a VMO position? It's a VMO? Yep. Okay.
So one important thing that I always tell everyone with your applications on USA Jobs, so it's always going to ask like it's multiple choice, and they're always going to be like, do you have experience with this, or do you have experience? And there's going to give you 4 different ones. Like I sort of do, or I have no experience. I sort of have some experience. Well, I know about this, or I'm highly expert in this area. I always recommend to everyone that applies for those, put highly recommend, a highly experienced, because they're going to look at your application. They're going to see that, and then they're going to refer to your resume and see if, you know, that's the same, and or not. You never know. They may not look at your resume and look at that application. They may just send it on. So it's funky, I should say sometimes, because I've applied for, I realized at the end, I was like, you know what, I'm just putting highly experienced on everything I do from now on. So one time I did that for a position with farm agriculture, gardens or something. And I did get an interview, and they had asked me a question about like, what's your experience in working with avocados? I'm like, avocados?
And see, that's my concern. If I put I'm highly experienced and all of that, what if I get an interview and they ask me about it and then I'm not really highly experienced?
But you got an interview. And so that's why I was like, well, at least because I was able to like kind of roundabout, I was like, well, I haven't exactly, I don't like, but then I try to, you know, move around it and stuff. So, and that's what you're going to have to do sometimes, because then they will like actually see, that's what I always tell everyone. I was like, you will show yourself and show how wonderful you are when you get that interview.
Okay.
And then that's where like they may just say like, you know what, yeah, she doesn't have experience, but I just really think she may be a best fit for this. I think it'll work out. And also what's important as well, when you get that email saying that you are not qualified for this position, email that person back that's on that announcement, that email on there, and ask them why.
I have. I've like when I didn't get referred, I would ask, you know, how can you connect me to HR? And then they just tell you that it's based on the assessment questionnaires, and if the hiring manager wants to, you know, interview you, they will contact you. But I have like, you know, I'm pretty aggressive. I don't just take no. I've asked to, you know, how do you get on the certifying list? And so they started the incident report, and then HR will email me back. But it's just frustrating because, you know, I know I'm qualified and I'm smart and I know I can do these things, but gosh, it's, you know, and especially when you see some of these positions only open for 5 to 7 days, I think that indicates they already have someone in mind for it. So
no, they don't have no one in mind. That's not the case. It's because of HR. Yeah, it's HR is pushing us to like get it out and get it done.
But why is the opening only like 3 to 5 days? I mean, I see some jobs that are open for 3 days.
Yeah, no, it depends on an HR. HR is the one who pushes us that way, or having only 40 applicants. So
I've seen that too.
So that's why I always tell everyone, like, have that USDA, that USA jobs email alert on. So
I do. I get it. It's been since last year I've had it. And I saw that position you mentioned, the VMO. Does that, and I'm glad you're on this today, because I always have to wonder, is there direct animal contact or being in an animal environment? Because I can't have that type of job. So, and I don't want to apply for a job. So I don't have to be around animals or have direct contact?
No, it's in an office.
Okay. Good.
It's office. It's dealing with that specific job is dealing with negotiating with other countries on if they want to bring in some type of pork or beef or something like that. Like I know Brazilian beef right now, you might end up having to go to Brazil. That's the thing. Only thing is that job is dealing with international.
I love international travel. That's one of the things I want to do. I love international travel.
Because I ended up hiring someone, and I ended up finding out, they said they were cool with it and everything, but then we get to the airport and they had an anxiety attack, and I was like, what's wrong with you? And they're like, I haven't flown in 12 years. I was like, I mean, you should have told me that in the interview. I was like, this job. I mean, you gotta go to the country. And he's like, well, can't I go via boat? I'm like, I'm not sending you on a boat
No.
to go to
Oh,
Japan.
no.
Wait.
No, when I was figuring out what I wanted to do, I want something with international travel because I love international travel. And this coronavirus is really cramping my style here because normally I go to Europe every summer. So I was in Dubai in November. I went with, you know, Eric Coleman, right? So he was in Dubai. So I went to Dubai. So that was really fun.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
I will let you guys continue to talk. Dr. Cezar, you are the host, okay?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And I'm going to move into the next breakout room session for the 2 to 2:30 speakers, but I don't, you know, this in no way means that you guys have to, you know, go home or whatever, but please, you know, feel free to talk amongst yourself. And if anyone else wants to move on to the next session, you can. Thank you guys. Thank you so much, Dr. Cezar. You know, I appreciate you.
No problem.
Okay. Rachel, can I call you if needed? Because we actually spoke last year.